Hello and welcome to the Fit Executive Show. Your host, Arne Wildner, lost 50 pounds himself before helping hundreds of other entrepreneurs and executives sustainably lose weight and take charge of their health. In the Fit Executive Show, you'll learn field-tested weight loss strategies and how to effectively juggle your successful life and staying fit at the same time. Please welcome your host, Arne Wildner.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fit Executive Show. My name is Arne and I got my lovely wife and business partner, Grace, the beautiful Monahan.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're really excited about today's episode because we have a topic that a lot of people often wonder about when coming to work with a weight loss coach, especially one who's lost weight himself. What does Arne eat in a day? And what exactly does he do to stay fit? Since that's a really interesting topic to a lot of our clients who want to lose the weight, but not only lose the weight, but keep it off. And Arne's kept off his weight, like we discussed in the last episode, for 10 to 12 years now. And he's also built up a lot of muscle in that time. We were actually just looking back at pictures,
actually,
right?
my weight has gone up, but my body fat content has stayed low. And we reveal, what a difficult word. Oh my God.
Reveal.
Reveal.
Oh my gosh.
So what I've noticed, there are some words in each language that are so different or so difficult to pronounce for the tongue. For example, try to say Milch. It's a German word, means milk. Yeah, but most people like from the US cannot say it. Milch. Ha. So, and for me, reveal.
Okay, what are we gonna reveal, Arne?
What are we gonna reveal? How to keep the body fat percentage low.
Yeah, like how is Arne specifically doing
muscle.
it? We're gonna get granular here. We're gonna go into the specifics of what he eats in a day, and I really want to know what he ate yesterday as a real concrete example.
You know what I ate yesterday? We had burgers.
But okay, let's go through it one by one, and then we're also gonna talk about what your current goals are in fitness and in your weight and muscle and all that, because that's really interesting for people to know as well. Your current goals, what you're doing, what kind of plan you're following right now, because surprise, surprise, even weight loss coaches follow plans very similar to what our clients follow, depending on their goals, right?
Yeah.
And why do you put yourself through that instead of just kind of staying in maintenance? Why do you always set new goals for yourself? And we'll get into what the goals are. And Arne always has some sort of ambitious goals going on.
And I must say, I did not prepare a thing for this episode because that was the whole point of it. Grace wants to interview me and I'm very excited.
I want to see what he says spontaneously because like there's so many videos out there online of, well, I know you have like all the, I think it's Harper's Bazaar who does it on YouTube. It's Harper's Bazaar or Vogue that does the series of what I eat in a day. So I was watching one this week with, I think it was Taylor Swift.
This is one of my...
Or no, Alex Cooper. Anyway, whatever.
Favorite thing to do is I study how people eat.
This is so interesting. You would love it. But anyway, I do feel like a lot of them are giving their ideal day. They're like, yeah, well, most of the time at night I make like salmon and a salad. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to just put him on the spot here. So let's get started right now with what his goals are. So Arne, what kind of goals do you, or what are your specific goals right now?
Yes.
As a 40-year-old, happy belated birthday, you just turned 40.
Thank you.
Who is basically just at his goal weight. Like he looks great, he feels great, he's in a really good workout cycle, or like a routine. It's just part of his life day to day. But what are you working towards right now? How long have you been working towards it? What kind of time frame are you on for this specific thing? And how are you doing it? So let's start with the goals. What's your goal right now? What are you working on?
My current goal is going from 13% where I started after Christmas. So I started New Year's. It's 2024 right now. So it's middle of February. So I started after Christmas at around 13 to 14% body fat percentage, which is high for me because I always go to the point, or I never go beyond the point where I cannot see my abs anymore. So this is, but I could feel it in my face already, and it wasn't about the way I felt. This was planned.
Yeah, why did you get up there?
Why did I get up there? Because I was building muscle, and muscles are easier to be built when you are actually in a calorie surplus. But in a calorie surplus,
so surplus means concrete. You eat more calories in a day than you actually burn.
Also on purpose, and that was semi-controlled as well. So I had a range where I was moving.
And what was your range then to gain that weight?
So the ideal for building muscle, lean muscle, is around 200 to 300, which is around
200 to 300 surplus calories per day.
Exactly, which is around 10%. So when you might not have the same amount of calories that you burn than me. I burn around in maintenance mode. I burn around 3,000 calories.
Okay, so in maintenance, he burns 2,900 to 3,000. And so you were eating like 32, 33 per day.
I was eating around 30. So I always have a range. So it's not too rigid, not too strict to make it easier to follow. So I was in between like 3,200 to 3,500. And so on some days...
That is a lot of calories in a day.
That is a lot of calories.
I think that's 2 days for me, probably.
Especially if you eat whole food. So I still ate mostly unprocessed foods. Because I believe in it and I love cooking and I love preparing food.
You should all see the portion sizes he has.
I don't spend much time cooking. I have enough hacks basically to make food very, very tasty, but keep it very, very simple.
Yeah. So you're eating just really big portions. Like, I think you have like a normal salad bowl for an entire family. And my family always makes this joke that I
get my own salad bowl.
Yeah, my family always eats buffet style. So when my mom will cook I have 3 sisters, so quite a big family. When everyone's visiting, my mom will always cook like a salad and then a protein and then maybe another side. And then she puts everything like on the bar or on the counter and everybody serves themselves. That's how my family's always eaten dinner. And Arne could literally just take the entire salad bowl for like 6 other people. And that would be the normal size that he eats.
Yes.
So like an entire bag or a box of lettuce and...
I eat quite a bit.
Okay, so before Christmas you were bulking, so you were eating a lot.
One second. When you become our client, don't be afraid that your portions will suffer.
Oh,
your
heck
portion
no.
size
You'll be eating a lot.
You will be... most of my clients actually eat more than they used to.
Like volume-wise.
So you won't go do bad hungry. This is one of our main aspects. Like, we make weight loss fun and effortless. Yeah. And one thing that people often neglect on mainstream diets is that they actually try to eat less. And eating less is not... You need to have less calories, but you actually don't need to have less volume.
Like, I think a lot of people...
Or less fun, for that matter.
Like, don't understand how few calories there are in, like, a bag of salad or lettuce. Yeah. It's, like, nothing, but it will fill you up. The more you eat of these lower calorie foods, you'll get full. Anyway, whatever.
You were asking about my goal. So my goal is to go down to 10% body fat by spring. So that is March 31st. And I'm well on track there. I'm at around 12% body fat now. So I came from 13%. Yeah. And now we use a Navy method for measuring body fat. You can Google it, Navy
method body fat calculator. You'll find a bunch.
The US Navy SEALs use. Yeah. And if the US Navy SEALs use it, it's good enough for me. And it's actually very simple. It's all you need is a measuring tape. And so it's a rough estimate. It's not very precise, but it's good enough because since you always use the same system, you have comparable values, and it's an estimate. So
okay, so you've gone down. So
yes.
What really surprised me was you divided this 90-day project, let's call it, into 3 phases. So 3 months. So for the first month, you were in a very minimal calorie deficit.
Well, no, I'm always in a very minimal. It's not minimal. I call it a moderate calorie deficit.
Okay, so how many calories a day? 300.
It's around 300.
Less deficit. Than. So let's just say. So okay, so this was shocking to me. So how many calories were you eating a day in the first month in January?
So I was eating 2,700 to 2,800.
Okay, that's actually a lot of food. And it's a lot of food if you look at it. And he was in a deficit, and then at the end of the month, he's like, I lost, 1 or 2 kilos or something like that.
No, I lost 1 kilo in the first week and then 2 more kilos afterwards.
Okay, so that's how many pounds is that?
That's
like 7 pounds or something.
Like 6 or 7 pounds, yeah.
In the month. And that was from eating so much food. So I was like, okay, this is really cool for me to watch this process like happening in my own home, which happens for our clients. And first of all, Arne's a really, really big guy. Let's just get that out there. I think you're 6 feet or something. 6'1".
6'1", yeah.
And you have a lot of muscle on your body. So your body actually just burns like a lot of calories just from your Grundumsatz, which is like your base metabolic
basic metabolic rate. eat. Yes, exactly.
So if we're talking about someone
That's-
like who's a little bit older, who maybe doesn't have who hasn't been building muscle for 10 years like Arne has, then they're not gonna.
That's the very first thing, or one of the first things we do after we get your goal setting process and the mindset set up done. What we do with our clients is we calculate the calorie needs, and it's also an estimate. But and then we verify it through data. But don't be afraid. Data is your friend, first of all, and I show exactly how you don't have to count calories when you're actually losing the weight.
Okay.
But in the beginning, it really helps to have a basic knowledge of how many calories you actually need.
And it's not actually rocket science, because a lot of people, they don't realize it, but they're eating like the same 10 meals in a rotation.
Exactly, yeah.
And you'll have variations on a theme. So it'll be like, you'll pack a sandwich for the office.
You eat 80% of the time, you eat 20% of the meals. It's always like there's not a 1-to-1 ratio, and you don't have, or you vary them a little bit. Sometimes you use the Mexican spices, sometimes you use Thai spices, but it's basically the whole, or the same components. You have a protein, you have a veggie, you have a starchy carb, and then you might have a dessert afterwards.
And then what is your let's go through how you would build a day, like how you built the day, like just for January, 2,700 calories. What's your breakfast?
No, first, let's go one step
Backwards?
One step backwards, yes. So what we do first is we start with the timing. We start with the basic structure of when to eat the meal. So I look at my calendar and I want to work out in the evening. So that means, okay, I'm fasting until noon, for example. So I have my first eating window between 12 and 2 o'clock. So I usually eat at 12:30. I have it blocked in my calendar, but I make sure I don't eat much later than 2. Sometimes I have client calls, so I have to be a little bit more flexible.
So in the morning when you're fasting, what is going into your body?
Lots of water and caffeine. So I usually have caffeine around 60 to 90 minutes after I wake up.
And he actually does this. I can't do that. I haven't done it yet. But
there are reasons for that. Caffeine timing, it's when you delay your first cup of coffee. A little bit later, what you do is you support your body's cortisol production. And cortisol is also called the stress hormone, but it's very good in the morning. Gets you active, gets you going. And it rises a little bit more slowly than the caffeine. Caffeine gets you awake right away. But the thing is that when you use caffeine as your main driver, caffeine as your main driver, your cortisol productions actually get shut down or gets minimum.
Because your body doesn't need to create the cortisol because it's getting it from an exterior source.
Exactly.
So this is something that they can learn from the Huberman Lab.
But Andrew, shout outs.
Listen to a real scientist talk about this. But anyway, you definitely do that. Arne does wake up, and then like an hour after he gets up, he has his first coffee. I am different. I get up a lot earlier than Arne. I go to the gym in the mornings. He goes to the gym in the night, and we do that because of our dog, which is really nice. And anyway, you switched. You used to do morning workouts, but even when you did morning workouts, you never ate in the morning, and I also don't eat in the morning.
But then I have protein. If I work out fasted, I'm not completely fasted. I always have
protein powder and water.
Whey protein and water, just to increase the protein synthesis.
I don't do that, which maybe I should.
I tell you to do it.
He always tells me to do that. I always work out completely 100% fasted.
The thing is, this is the protein timing. Maybe makes around 10% difference. So
I'm not looking to build specific muscle, whereas Arne is very, very targeted about it. Like I didn't even really get into this, but until December, he was literally building his chest muscles for 3 months, which worked.
I do it because it's easy to do, and if I get 10% difference easily. Why wouldn't I do it? It's not that it's that much of a difference, but it is a difference, and it's easy for me, and I don't mind doing it. Okay. So why wouldn't I do it? And I ask you the same question: Why don't you do it?
Well, it's because I like in the mornings I just don't really feel hungry from years and years of fasting.
So, but the question was, what do I do? So I fast until around noon. Then I have a mini meal
A mini meal.
A mini meal.
It's huge.
No. I have a huge meal.
As I'm like thinking of the Tupperware I see at the office. It's really
I usually
big.
have Greek yogurt with some kind of fruit, with nuts and chia seeds.
Okay, so let's talk about this Greek yogurt.
Yes.
You always have 0% and unflavored.
Mostly, yes.
So 0% fat, unflavored, and then how much yogurt?
I have 750 grams.
So is that one of those containers?
Depending on the size. Some are 650, some are 1 kilo.
But like pretty much one of those big, like similar size to one of the larger, like at Costco, they have the smaller organic Greek yogurts, but you get the big one. If you had a big one, 750 milliliters or grams.
Yeah.
So he eats a big container of Greek yogurt and then he puts frozen berries, this is very specific, frozen berries into the yogurt or frozen mango or something like that. And
I vary the fruit depending on the season. In winter I usually have apples because they are in season, and I have frozen berries because I love frozen fruit because you don't have to cut anything and you don't have to wash anything.
And the beauty of this yogurt dish that Arne eats, and we in Germany it was the quark is like a different style of yogurt that they don't have here, so he's making do with Greek yogurt. But what you used
I love Greek yogurt.
I know. So, but with the frozen fruit, the practical thing about it is that it keeps the yogurt cold, so he doesn't have to put it in the fridge.
That's
Of course,
right.
at the office we have a fridge, but if you're on a road trip, it's perfect.
I lost weight when I was a salesman for 5 different German breweries, and I was working in sales. So I was visiting my clients, and I was in the car most of the time. I was sitting at a desk or sitting in a car, basically, or sitting at the client in restaurants, eating with them and drinking beer, obviously. So that was a very good practice for losing weight under tough conditions. And one of the tactics I used was frozen fruit in my quark or it's like a skyr or...
it's just like skyr.
Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
But the frozen fruit kept it cool even in summer, like mango,
In the car.
mango cubes, in the car.
In the
For
summer.
hours.
Yeah.
It was very easy to transport.
And like for me, this dish with like unflavored frozen yogurt and the berries, it's like too sour. So I would want to add some sweetener. So like maybe a sprinkle of protein powder would make it sweeter.
Exactly. So for many of my clients, the volume is too much, and they say, "Honey, I cannot eat 750 grams of yogurt. Are you kidding me?" So what we do there is we decrease the portion, and we say maybe 400 grams, and then add protein powder to it, like whey protein powder, vanilla flavored is a good all-rounder. Some use chocolate, but use whatever you like.
Yeah.
And
sometimes,
then the volume is much less, and it's
But you get enough
way
protein.
easier
It's about
to-
hitting
way
your
easier to
protein
eat.
goal there.
Exactly, it's about being full for a couple of hours.
And then some nuts for some crunch. Sometimes you'll do a granola,
exactly.
like a little a tiny bit of granola or oats.
I vary it all up.
Yeah.
So when I build meals for my clients, I always tell them how to vary them, how to find substitutes for the fruit, for example. It doesn't matter if you use apples or peaches or watermelon.
And pretty much all the same amount of calories.
Okay,
so we always have this yogurt container. That's one.
Yes.
So then that's at around 12:30. Then what's the next time you eat?
Next time I eat, that was a mini meal I was talking about. It's around 4 o'clock, and it's for me, it's a smoothie. Exactly. I use frozen mango and vanilla protein powder. For me, this is just quick and dirty. It's not very complicated. It's not rocket science, but this does is it
Keeps you full until dinner.
It keeps me full.
And that's
until
like
dinner.
kind of the thing where if you work in an office, especially if you're a business owner, you work longer hours. This is the cracking point, because people are like, I eat healthy all day. I ordered a salad for lunch. Can I finish what I'm saying?
Please.
And then in the late afternoon, it's kind of like, oh, I'm probably not going to be home until 7, or I'm going to be having a dinner reservation at 7:30, and it's now 3 or 4 p.m. I've got a couple hours left of work to do, and I'm hungry. So what's in the office kitchen? Trail mix, or Jenny in accounting brought cupcakes today because it's her baby's birthday, and then you just end up eating some random crap, and then so basically that's why it's really important. We say to have a mini meal in the afternoon.
It's not it not only serves you to prevent you from eating crap in the afternoon, because Jenny brought her cupcakes, but it's also for you not to coming home starving, and it buys you time.
That's also really helpful for me, because like if I go to the grocery store after work to buy what I'm going to cook for dinner, and I'm starving when I get there, it's going to go way way worse than it would go if I had. And I am a protein bar person. That's way easier for me because I can eat that like while I'm on calls.
Exactly. This is one of my favorite things.
So
to
I'll
do
have a
for
protein bar.
So to make it adaptable for you, when you have your mini meals or your snacks of any kind, try to combine protein and fiber. Protein serves as a satiety, and fiber even increases it. So fiber means any type of color foods. Color foods is our code word for fruit and veggies. And that is the basic information you need to have. Protein and fiber keeps you full.
Yeah, maybe like a couple of those little Baby Bell cheeses that are like a more like lighter cheese with a bit of protein, and an apple.
Could be Baby Bell and an apple. Could be a
handful of nuts.
Could be a bowl of cottage cheese and some fruit. Could be cottage cheese and you dip it or use it as a dip with some carrot sticks or whatever you
cottage cheese and like sriracha, that's a nice spicy dip, something like that.
When we do design these meals with our clients, we always give them some suggestions, and we pick the ones that are most suitable for their taste and for the situation, and this can vary over time.
So but this is like a specific office day we're getting to, and then we'll get to yesterday, because yesterday would be a typical weekend day for you. So
for me, personally it's the most convenient thing to bring my meals, because we don't have a big kitchen at our office, and we don't have the best restaurants surrounding it.
No, we have nothing.
So I wouldn't want it. And I'm a great cook, as I said, and I love to eat tasty. And if I make better food than the restaurant and it's quicker for me, then this is the most convenient option. You don't have to bring your own food. If you have good restaurants, we take a look with you what are the best options.
Okay, so back to you. So you have the mini meal in the afternoon.
Yes.
Then you always come back around then you go to the gym most days,
No, I don't go to the gym most days. I go to the gym on 3 days per week, and this is my 3 days, usually somewhere between 30 to 60 minutes, and this is where I do weightlifting. Yeah. Do you want to talk about weightlifting for a second? Or
first, I want to know. I want to finish the meal thing first, and then so you have this mini meal, which is your smoothie, which I can say he has this smoothie every single day. So he brings it in a water bottle. It's in the fridge. He drinks it
Monday to Friday. Yeah. So every single work day, basically.
Okay, and then you come home. Now, can I say what I've seen for dinner? So Arne buys these bag mixed salads, which is
hold on. The smoothie. Maybe the listener or the viewer wants to know what's in the smoothie.
Yeah. You said frozen mango and vanilla protein
how much
powder.
Though? Haha.
Okay.
So that is.
We are getting very specific.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. How many grams mango?
You said we go into the details. So it's 250 grams of mango and 5 grams of creatine. 5 grams of psyllium husks to also add more fiber to it, and 40 grams of vanilla whey protein.
So that's 2 scoops of protein powder.
I use my blender to blend it all up. No, it's 1.5 basically.
1.5 scoops of protein powder. So that's the thing with this like smoothie. If you pick like your go-to mini meal in the afternoon, then you really only have to measure it once. Because once you weighed that mango in the blender, like we have a big Ninja blender, whatever, you can see how much that is like on the like the measurement thing.
So you basically have to weigh everything once, and then you know it, and then you can just
redo it every single day. So that's okay. So we're here, and then at night you have a lot of calories left in your budget.
For sure.
So what would be a typical night for you? And I'll just say specifically, he gets at the start of the week, either we order from Costco or whatever grocery store, and you'll buy like for all 5 nights, you'll buy 5 bags of bagged salad. So like a mixed kind of bagged salad, which is really cool. So I'll say specifically, President's Choice has some that are like shredded cabbage and shredded lettuce, and then Costco has like it's called like the sweet kale and cranberry
from
poppy seed.
Taylor Farms,
the creamy dill pickle one, you love that, and then all these different Southwest ones from President's Choice.
I love the chipotle stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So you buy all these bag salads, and that comes with a high calorie dressing.
Yes.
And why is that okay with you?
Because there are no good or bad foods like a high calorie dressing or sweets or cake or chips or whatever. there's only a context, and the context always is the calorie budget for your day. And
it's probably also the only fatty thing you've had so far in your day. Like you have 0 fat Greek yogurt.
I've had the nuts, the chia
nuts.
seeds.
Okay.
But not too much fat. I tend to do much better on a high carb diet than on a high fat diet.
Yeah.
But this is down to your personal preferences.
You get this dressing for convenience. Yes. I personally love making a salad dressing myself in a big jar at the start of the week.
Exactly.
If you're a client, ask me for my salad dressing recipe. It's actually my mom's. It's very famous amongst our clients. But you can vary. You can vary the vinegar in there if you wanted to do balsamic or you wanted to go for lemon juice, and you can vary the mustard if you want like a sweet mustard or greeny mustard. And then I always recommend making like a huge jar of that and using that if you're gonna have a salad every day. Arne loves those. Chipotle dressing.
Pure convenience. And
he literally comes home from the gym, rips this bag open, throws it in a massive salad bowl.
Comes home hungry.
Rips open the dressing, squirts it over, and then he takes out of the fridge whatever he prepared that week, which will be a protein. We have a barbecue. Love the barbecue.
Yeah.
And at the start of the week, like a whole bunch of chicken breasts.
One sec. I need to say something. This is very important for you. If you know yourself and you know you come home hungry, even if you have that afternoon mini meal, please be prepared, okay? Yeah. Don't start improvising and don't start like, hoops, what am I gonna eat tonight?
There's no food in the fridge. I guess I have to order on Uber Eats.
Or I have to eat the cheese and crackers just because it's there. No, first of all, we can talk about environment design and how to make it easy for you to be successful by putting.
And it's also okay to order if that's in your plan.
I'm talking.
Sorry.
So putting the right things in the right places and make it easy for you to eat the good stuff first, and then make the stuff that you don't want to. I'm not dividing into good or bad, so make the stuff that you don't want to eat preferentially in places that not so good to access, or don't buy them in the first place. But this is also there are many factors in place that we need to talk to you specifically to design the best solution for you. Okay. But for me, I know myself, I come home starving after the gym and I need to eat something quickly and I don't want to make a dressing. So for me, the convenience factor is higher than the clean eating factor or the taste factor. I'm sure I could make a better dressing than they do. But hey, for me, it's all about the convenience and speed in that situation. And I appreciate it to have a ready-made salad for me, waiting for me. And I often eat that with some rice or potatoes or sweet potatoes together as like a bowl. You can I have my protein, my carbs, and my veggies, my color foods with that dressing to make it all like come together and unite the flavors.
And what's your dessert? Every single night he always has dessert.
Oh, my favorite dessert. Now listen up and take notes. So my dessert is I have skyr or low-fat Greek yogurt then I put the salted roasted almonds in it. So good. I have maple syrup. We live in Canada, so real maple syrup. You could use honey. You could use agave or any sweetener basically that you prefer. And then I mix it with blueberries or raspberries. Those are my favorite berries. And then some chocolate chips. And I love it. So my exact recipe is 200 grams of, and that's around
yogurt. One third of a container.
1 cup. Yeah.
So yes,
one third of a container.
So a cup of yogurt.
A cup of yogurt.
A handful of berries.
A handful or like half a cup of berries. Then 20 grams is like two tablespoons of almonds, 2 tablespoons of chocolate, and 1 tablespoon of
sweetener.
Sweetener like maple syrup. Drizzled,
and he has this every night.
Oh, I love it.
So that's a typical day, and I can actually say I'm a witness. That's a weekday, which is super typical. Now let's get to yesterday, because on Saturdays we eat differently, and most people do.
One sec. So weekdays only. When I have this routine, I know my schedule is quite it's quite consistent.
Yeah.
And this is why I can plan it this way. And with this, I want to give you the thought process behind it, why I do it in the way. And for our clients, we often make major adjustments. Some love eating breakfast with their kids before they go to school, for example. So it wouldn't be feasible if they went on an intermittent fasting protocol. But there are so many variations.
Yeah, and some people only order food.
It all depends on your personal schedule, your personal preferences, on the calories that you want to eat, on the foods that you like to eat, and what is convenient, or if you value taste more than convenience, then we might make you design a meal plan where you have to cook. But for most of my clients, flexibility is key. They eat out a lot. They love tasty food, and it needs to be quick and easy for their everyday life to work for them in the long run. So this is our thought process. But what did you want to ask?
Let's stick to you here. We don't need to talk about the thought process, which is interesting.
Yes, of course. But the client now, or the listener now thinks like, oh, okay, like, and what do I do with this information? Where do I go from here?
Yeah, and maybe you're thinking like, oh, I don't have time to, like, in the mornings, Arne puts like his lunch into a container, and that takes like 15 minutes, and some people don't have that time because they have kids or whatever. So we always find solutions if they order. There's so many great options out there nowadays. Love 2024 at grocery stores. Grocery stores, ordering online, no matter what city you're in, on, let's say, whatever it is, Uber Eats, or all our European clients on Lieferando, but we always find something. So that's fine. If you can't meal prep, that's not a huge issue.
And the most thing is, our philosophy is, it needs to be customized to your personal preferences, to your needs. And if you don't like Greek yogurt, my plan doesn't work for you. And I want to give value to the listener.
Like, or if you're like me and I can't eat the same thing every day. It's too boring.
This is why I always include the thought process. I want to give the principles more like specific tactics, because today it's about my specific tactics that I use for my situation and my goals. But the listener might have completely different situation, completely different goals, and completely different circumstances, and I want to help him anyway, or her. You know so
that was like a typical office day. But we're actually getting to what you ate yesterday, which is really interesting because we do once a week pretty regularly. Honestly, we started this during COVID, I think.
We have a date night.
We have like a date night on Saturday night where, like, already during the week, we talk about it. Like, oh, what do we really want to eat on Saturday?
Yes.
And some Saturdays, it's like we want to go to a pizzeria, or we really want to find the best tacos in Ottawa, the city which we just moved to. So let's try some restaurants, or pizza night. We love making pizza at home. I'm really good at making pizza dough, and Arnie's really good at somehow rolling and baking it. You're really good. So anyway, we decide during the week like what's going on, and then this week, someday during the week, I said I would love to have a burger night. Like, I love burgers. We were at the grocery store.
We went out for burgers, I think 2 weeks ago, and it was kind of disappointing. Yeah.
So we're like, oh, let's make burgers at home.
Have you had that before, when you're really looking forward to a certain dish, and then you research and you read the reviews and grade it, all of that.
Yeah.
And then you
get there and you're like,
we ate there, and it was like,
So we decided burger night.
I could have done burger.
Saturday is burger night.
Yes.
So we spend the week just fantasizing about it and thinking like what we're going to actually do. Because generally during the week, surprisingly enough, Arne and I are business partners. We work at the same office, and we are married. We live together. So we spend a lot of time together, but somehow we never eat meals together because we're kind of on a different rhythm at night. I come home from the office earlier than Arne does. He goes to the gym on some days, and some days he takes a big walk. Like on your non-gym days, you'll take the dog and you'll do a big walk after the office. He walks the long way home, and for me, I walk the short way home. I'm like, it's minus 20 right now. I just want to go right home, and I'm hungry. And I also like to cook something like not like as quick and dirty, like Arne calls it as his food. I like to cook something like different every single night, and I'm super spontaneous in that sense, which is, I am not counting calories or on any sort of like fitness journey right now. I'm just maintaining and eating what makes me feel good. And so in that sense, I don't really have to think too hard. I just kind of eat what I want to eat. And I always put a big focus on protein, because I have noticed that makes a really big difference in me being full and happy.
That's basically the 80-20 principle that we preach. Have protein, have fiber with every meal. and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
I'll come home.
This approach doesn't necessarily work as well when you're trying to lose weight. It's always easier to maintain it this way if you exercise regularly, like Grace does. Sleep well, sleep on a schedule, sleep
I'm a really good
8
sleeper.
to 9 hours. Yes.
I'm like 9 to 10 hours.
And also eat well. Grace doesn't count calories, doesn't do anything of that because she never had to. She had those routines, and this is what we do in our coaching program. Is we teach you the habits, we teach you, we design the lifestyle for you or with you that you need, and show you how
does a thin person think, or how does a fit person think and eat?
How does the fittest version of yourself think and feel and
grocery shop and cook and act.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you become the fittest version of yourself over time. But so this is the approach. And you don't do that.
But I always would focus on protein. So I was going to say yesterday, like for example, I was during the workday, I was like, oh, I really, really want a tuna melt. So tuna like sandwich.
But I am in a different situation because I am losing fat. So I am more.
He's following something. So anyway,
I am following.
Back to the point. We get home. I get home. I cook something different every single day.
Yes. What I wanted to say is I am on a calorie budget, and if you are listening to this and you're trying to lose weight,
you're also on a calorie budget.
You will be on a calorie. And you have to have a calorie deficit, and I don't want my weekends ruin my weekdays, because this is something I did. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see in practice. For many, it's like, the weekends I let loose, and it starts Friday afternoon where it's like, now it's a weekend,
happy
and
hour,
we go out,
go.
happy hour. And those calories don't count, and I was so good during the week, and then they mess it all up on the weekend,
and then overcompensate on Monday.
And I used to be that person, 100%. And nowadays, I find a more balanced approach by having more flexibility on the weekends, and we actually think about what we want to eat.
Yeah, in advance.
And in advance, so I also can prepare accordingly. And what I did yesterday, so we had burger night. That means we bought burger buns. I bought extra lean ground meat.
I got Impossible burgers. I don't eat meat, and that was really good actually.
Those
that
were
was
good.
delicious.
Yeah, I had a bite.
It was like really freaky though. I bought it and I looked at it and it actually looked like ground beef, and I was like, I can't eat this. Like I don't know. I'm not like a fake meat person at all, but it was really, really good. So anyway, we bought the patties, we bought the buns.
Bought everything.
So you bought ground beef, and then you looked up we always look up recipes. We always want to try something new. So yesterday we wanted to try. Arne really wanted to have cauliflower buffalo wings because he's never had buffalo chicken wings before. And then
we don't have that in Germany. Frank's hot sauce, where are you? Come to Germany. Come on.
It's too spicy for German people.
Come on.
So anyway, then we got like cauliflower, and like we dipped it in like this, we kind of breaded it in breadcrumbs, and then the buffalo sauce, then we baked that, and we made a blue cheese dip, which you can always search up like healthy blue cheese dressing or healthier whatever, and you'll always find really cool stuff. And we found like recipe for a blue cheese dip, which was, instead of just being like pure mayo and sour cream and blue cheese, it was low-fat Greek yogurt, which is phenomenal, source of protein, and then a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of mustard, and then garlic powder, salt, and pepper. So that's what made it super tangy. And then just a bit of crumbled blue cheese into it at the end, because that would have been like the high-calorie portion. So we used that to dip, and then we made a burger sauce, which was really, really good. This is something that German people would never do, but we love sauces here in North America. But I made a really nice burger sauce for myself, which was like sriracha, kind of mayo, sriracha, and then mustard. You just did mustard, and he loves mustard. Yeah. German, obviously, such a stereotype. But mustard and ketchup.
We had French mustard, Dijon.
Yeah, and then we really dressed the burgers. Like we got everything, and we also made like some potato wedges. So we really do it up, and we spend the time during the week. We're like, hey, that's the whole point of my story of me cooking something random every night, was that we don't normally eat together at night at all. Like I'll be done with my dinner by the time you get home, essentially. And then you'll eat your quick dinner and while you're working more a little bit, and then I go to bed early. So then basically Saturday is our special day, and we actually spend the time cooking together, and we start early, which is really nice. This is another thing, is that we found like if you're going to do these, let's say crazy like dinner where you're eating, let's say, probably more calories than you would in a normal dinner, then it's nice to finish eating a little bit earlier so you have time to actually digest and not go to bed with this like really full stomach, if that makes sense.
Also, from a weight loss perspective, it's easier for you to, if you have a higher calorie dinner.
Yeah.
One of the tactics that I often do with my clients, I recommend them, is to do intermittent fasting on those days and then keep it quite high protein in advance and quite low fat. So you usually have lots of carbs, lots of fat with most of the let's call it free meals or flexible meals where, like, you know what I mean, the pizzas, the burgers, the quesadillas, the tacos, all of those restaurant dinners, they are mostly high in carbs. Let's say carbs and fat together are just fun. Maybe you want to have dessert and a piece of cheesecake afterwards, So those are usually quite high in carbs and quite high in fats, and not necessarily that high in protein. But if you front load the protein and front load satiety by focusing on protein and maybe some fiber in the beginning of the day, maybe combined with some intermittent fasting to take advantage of the time delay and don't arrive at the restaurant or at the place where you have that larger dinner
hungry,
starving.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You cannot be starving.
And that was me yesterday. That was really bad. I was so hungry when we started that.
With my clients, I am using the satiety scale. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is I am starving, I am hangry, I want to eat now, or it was rather yesterday. And the 10 is like, I
so full,
bloated.
bloated.
I'm in a food coma. I cannot move.
I need to lay down at the bed.
Don't touch my stomach. Full. So you want to be somewhere between 4. So you don't want to get too hungry, and you don't want to get super full. Especially not when you try to be in a calorie deficit. You don't want to go beyond an 8.
Yeah, ever.
Basically, 7 or 8 is like ideal, where you're like, I am full, and I'm full for a long time, for a couple of hours. Yeah. But I could still exercise. I'm happy to
I
walk.
could go for a walk after dinner.
I'm mentally functional.
Yeah.
I'm not in a food fog after my
You know what they say here? The meat sweats.
The meat sweats.
I don't know.
Yeah. No,
but like if you eat too much meat, is that real?
That is real because protein. No, it's not only meat, but protein in general has it's called the thermic effect of food. We're gonna do another episode on that in how to use, like, it's a hack basically.
Use that to your advantage.
Increase your metabolism. Exactly, how to use that to your advantage. But what protein does, it raises the body temperature, or raises the metabolism, because protein needs, or your body needs, around 30% or 25 to 30% of the calories from the protein to digest the protein, to metabolize it. And this is what heats your body up. So if you have a lot of protein in
your body's like processing it.
Exactly. Okay. And this happened, you might have noticed that after Thanksgiving or Christmas dinners, where you might have a lot of turkey and also a lot of calories, lots of food. You wake up sweating.
Okay, anyway, we didn't go for that last night, even though you ate a lot of, like, he had like double patty, which is good, like double protein in the burgers.
So this is another hack. Double patty is more protein and ground beef. It's only 10 grams of fat for 100 grams, and this is quite good. So this what was make it easier. And I had extra lean ground beef. I had a little bit of cheese on top, and then I had tomato slice. I had the pickle is fiber, the
lettuce, onion.
Lettuce is onion, so lots of fiber, and just a tiny bun.
And then I made a big green salad, which I always do. That was really nice to have on the side.
Oh, yeah. Always have a soup or a green salad. Eat like a French lady.
Because that also helps fill you up. You know, you might end up only having 2 small burgers rather than like 3 if you're filled with like salad.
If you front load some fiber, you have less room for the higher calorie stuff. And those are some.
So you had 2 burgers. I had 1 burger and an ice cream. Oh, it was so good.
The cauliflower wings. I had the potato wedges. And what else?
We watched a movie. It was nice.
Watched a movie.
Yeah, but that was
Good
awesome.
Movie. What movie? Let's.
It was called Somebody I Used to Know,
Great
and it was
movie.
on Amazon Prime, and it was a really good rom-com.
Shout out to the actress
Alison Brie.
Alison Brie.
She's really good. Yeah, so that was phenomenal. Yeah.
Lots of nudity in that movie. I'm not saying anything else. So, but
it wasn't actually that much nudity. Like you saw her boobs once.
And another scene, but watch that movie.
Oh my god, yeah, it was good. It was hilarious too. We laughed. We laughed a lot. But
so this was kind of a day out of the routine, which is another strategy.
So what did you eat before that is the question. So you fasted until noon.
I fasted until noon, and I had protein smoothie with frozen banana. So I let my bananas ripen. I peel them. I would put them in a freezer. And I have that with a smoothie with vanilla protein. Okay, so the exact recipe.
Protein powder.
Yeah, so the exact recipe is 40 grams of protein powder, vanilla whey.
So a
isolate.
scoop and a half.
Vanilla whey isolate. Whenever you buy whey protein powder or any protein powder, if you are not vegan, get whey isolate. This is the highest quality protein. And don't overpay by going to some, like most of those things that come in like, oh my gosh, that they sell you at a supplement store. They're way overpriced. Just get a whey isolate on Amazon, and they are all mostly the same. I make sure my stuff is grass fed because I care about the planet. And I want my children to live on a healthy planet too. But whey isolate, 40 grams of that, then 300 milliliters of water, which is like 1.5 cups.
Yeah.
1.5 cups of water, and then 1 cup of banana.
One cup of frozen bananas.
Frozen bananas.
Or that would be like one long frozen banana or 2 frozen bananas.
That's 1 big banana.
Yeah, and then we put that in the blender.
Yeah, put that in the blender.
That's your.
And I had 2 of those for around 80 grams of protein and only 600 calories. So when you calculate, or my calorie budget these days is 2,500 to 2,600. So I had 2,000 calories left
for burger night. And you came in full. You weren't even hungry. I was complaining how hungry I was yesterday, and you were like, "I'm fine."
Yes.
And I'm not in a rush, and you didn't even like snack on anything crazy while we were cooking. And I was eating potatoes the whole time, which is fine.
And that was the whole point.
Yeah. So that is like not a cheat day, but that's like a fun eating day done well.
A fun eating day in a calorie deficit.
Staying in deficit. Yes. Dope. Okay. And then today was back to normal, essentially. Oh no, we had waffles for breakfast,
right? Protein waffles.
Oh my gosh, we have a really good.
We discovered the most amazing protein.
If you're listening to this and you want the protein waffle recipe, please DM me on Instagram or
in the comment. Just leave a comment waffles.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
basically, we have a really nice. Well, we got Arne a waffle maker for his birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Because he's obsessed with making waffles. Yes. I don't know why, but anyway, so that's fine.
Now you know why.
Yeah, really good. And we found a really good like protein waffle recipe, which uses protein powder, uses cottage cheese, uses egg whites, and it is so delicious. It tastes like perfectly normal waffles, but higher in protein, so they'll keep you fuller for longer.
Very high in protein, basically no fat, no sugar. It's the flour is oats, blended oats.
Yeah. Oh, so yummy.
Works so well.
Anyway, we do that on Sundays.
High in fiber, high in protein, keeps you full.
Love. Okay, so this phase, you're still working out 3 days a week like before. Yeah. You are walking 8,000 steps a day. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's my goal. On a weekly average, I am between 8,000 and 9,000 usually because we have a dog, and I also
which we have to force to go outside. He's not the biggest walker.
The dog doesn't like to walk. He doesn't bark. He doesn't shed, and he doesn't want to walk.
Yeah. He's very sweet. He just wants to sleep and cuddle. But anyway, so Arne walks himself. I mean, you force the dog to go with you. He's fine once he's out there.
The dog's name is Elvis, by the way.
Yeah, and then so you're walking. You're working out 3 days a week. Yeah. You're at like 2,500 calories right now. Yes. And then next month, what are you going to go down to?
I am going down 100 calories again because as my body gets lighter, I burn less calories. So this is one thing. We're gonna record an episode about how to fix your metabolism, or what is a broken metabolism, how to boost your metabolism, but all about the metabolism. And one thing that people are confused about is that your calorie needs go down. Your calorie,
as you lose weight.
you burn less calories as you lose weight because your body has to carry less weight around.
So
But
basically, like,
so
you have
does
to...
so does your appetite go down. So does your full sooner. So your calorie needs go down.
Yeah, this is really good advice.
Yeah, I need to eat less calories. I need to decrease my calories. So usually once a month. But one thing, I will incorporate refeeds, strategic refeeds in the last month of my fat loss phase.
What is a refeed?
A refeed is a day where I go increase my calories up to maintenance. So I will have 2 days a week where I will eat 2,700 calories, and on the other days I will have 2,400 calories. So usually then on the weekends I will have my 2,700 calorie days, so I can still eat burgers and pizzas and quesadillas and all of that.
And we're going to
stuff.
Mexico too. So.
And we're going to Mexico.
Yeah. But yeah, like, as you hopefully in this episode you've learned that. Okay, so first of all, weight loss coaches also mess around with, experiment with, and like hack and change and optimize their own health. So it's not just like, oh yeah, I lost weight 10 years ago and now I just do whatever the heck I want. He's constantly tweaking things, testing things out, trying to build muscles, trying to cut, but just like to experiment. And why do you do this experimentation? Why?
Well, so a good example is I did Whole30 for 30 days, and
you'll see what it is.
Google
it's very restrictive.
You might have known. Yeah, it's a elimination diet where you cut out certain foods for 30 days. And
I also did it.
And I did it as an experiment.
I think we both gained weight.
That's on another page. But I do these things just to be in the shoes of my clients when they start, because it is... You have to change things in order to change. And I just want to get back into the mindset. I don't want to lose touch with the weight loss, because so once a year, it's like, for me, it's like a spring cleaning where I go down to a low amount of body fat, so I don't have to track anything over the rest of the year. For the last fall, I actually did track a calorie surplus, but usually I don't do that. And I just make sure I keep my measurements and I keep my weight, my moving average weight in a certain range. And I make sure I can still see my vein on my arm. This is a measurement for me. And I can see my abs. So as long as this is all good, then I know I don't have and I might do a mini cut, but that's also something
it's really nice.
For a different episode.
It's nice that you put yourself in the shoes of our clients, which is
exactly.
it's cool. And then also, and maybe also from this episode you learned that you do pay attention to what you eat. You put a lot of thought into it. You're thoughtful. And
I do know my numbers.
Yes, you got to know your numbers.
Know your numbers, not only in your business,
or hire someone to know your numbers.
Well, no, you have to learn your numbers. This is a skill. It serves you for life. In your business, you know your numbers. Your body needs some attention too. What gets measured gets improved.
Yes.
And you want to measure some things. Don't measure the wrong things and lose yourself in the unnecessary details.
Yeah.
But measure the important stuff. Yeah. Measure your protein, measure your fiber, measure your color foods, the amount that you eat, and have an idea of the amount of calories that your body needs and how to get there. Have an idea of the system that gets you there. And if you need help with creating that system and gaining clarity and how to implement it in your everyday life.
How to build your perfect burger day.
How to make weight loss tasty, how to be flexible, how to make it convenient, how to make it family-friendly, business-friendly, social-friendly. Then talk to us. You have the opportunity to get a free consultation where we work out a step-by-step plan for you and then offer you, or we might offer you to implement it together over the next couple of months. We also have a program where we measure your biomarkers, or we have our partner lab come to your house, do a little blood draw. We do 40 biomarkers. We test them, analyze the numbers, and base your weight loss plan not only on your personal preferences and the needs of your schedule, of your everyday life, but also on the needs of your body. We take a look inside of your body and give you recommendations based on that, how to improve your cholesterol, how to increase your testosterone, how to improve your sleep, how to boost your metabolism, how to improve your brain health, your well-being, your energy level, your productivity. And this is so unique on the market. I haven't found anything like that. This is why we created it. And if you want to reach out to us, just drop a comment or
just click the link under the video or the
link
podcast.
Under the video or under the podcast. It's arnewildner.com/call, where you get the opportunity to talk to me personally and get a step-by-step plan customized to you for free. Ha!
We'd love to talk to you. Let us know if you have any more wishes for topics. And have a wonderful day. Thank you for spending time with us.
That was a beautiful episode. Thank you for interviewing me. Thank you for letting me talk so much.
This guy's got a lot to say. I only got through 2 questions.
I could talk all day. Usually Grace is the talker. Yeah.
All right, we're cutting this off.
Okay. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.
And that's it for today's show. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us. If you want to lose weight but don't want to do it all by yourself, go to arnewildner.com/call and book an appointment for a free 15-minute phone call with us where we'll look at your situation, your obstacles, and your goals to find out if and how we can help you.